Diane here for the Not Too Shabby Shop, coming to you from Didedi's Crafty Corner. Today I'm going to be showing and playing with a few of the products from the Fresh and New box of the month for July. This paper pad is the apple season, and this is the pad that I use for today's projects. The papers are gorgeous. The stamp set I chose to use for both of my cards today is called Apple Pie, and I'm going to be using two different things. So I'm going to be using the little honey pot with the bees and the apples with the bee on it as well. The sentiments I'll be using are "You're sweet," and "If friends were apples, I'd pick you." So I'm going to go ahead and stamp out both of my card fronts now. So I'm going to start with the little bee and its little honey pot. Such a cute set. It's adorable. And then for this one I chose the "You're Sweet," so I'm going to be stamping that down as well. I'm going to make these pretty simple cards. They're all going to be stamped in one layer, if you will, on my card front. So that's going to make it easy. So we're going to be stamping with Memento. Gone ahead and switched over to my little apples, and this is a basket of apples. And on this one, I've decided to be a little more creative, and I'm going to do some paper piecing. That idea came to me on the very first day when I saw this apple basket, so we're going to go with it and see what happens. I'm stamping out the apples, and then I'm going to take that sweet little bee and stick him up on the top, and then the sentiment for this is going to be, "If friends were apples, I'd pick you." And we're going to make one of those cute little apples extra special. So I'm just rubbing it to make sure I get a good impression, and then we'll jump ahead to the finished product. So this is what my two fronts look like. I'm going to show a tiny little bit of coloring here and there because I needed this video to stay down at about 10 minutes. The papers that I chose from the pad were this gorgeous little heart and this red plaid. I thought that would look gorgeous with red apples. So those are the two papers I'm going to use for card number one. And then for card number two, I was thinking about using that plaid. I thought it would be a nice color with I thought it would be a nice color to go with the honey. I ended up using a peachier color, which you're seeing here. So for my honey card, I did take that same piece of paper that I'm going to use as a trim piece, and I'm cutting out the top to the jar. I'm going to be doing some paper piecing on this one as well. I used a little piece. I'm going to fussy cut a little bit later on, and that's going to be the top to our little honey jar. So for the yellow markers that I used for the honey, those were, I showed them to you just now, but they were the YR23 and YR24, and I think YR31 as well were the ones that I used for that. I used a different set of yellows for my little bees, and then I used the BGs and the BOOs for the wings, and the little cheeks were R20. So I thought that turned out super cute. A little bit of fussy cutting now to get our little top, and I'm not going to make you sit through this. As you guys know, my vision isn't the best, so I really have to take my time when I'm doing this, but it did turn out very good. When I was finished fussy cutting it, I did go around it with a black marker, and that's how that turned out. So now I'm going to, I put just a couple of tiny pieces of foam on the little jar topper with the ruffle, and I'm adding that to the top to give us a little bit of dimension. I've taken some white cardstock and built up our little frame made out of that pretty plaid paper, and here are the papers in the pad that I actually did use. And I love, I've said it again, I love these papers, love them. So all three of these, as you can see, just go together so spectacular. So they're just spectacular. They go together so well. I'm taking a piece of black cardstock because I wanted something to pop that "You're sweet." And I'm adding the tiniest little border around our card front. And then I'm taking a piece of the green pattern paper and the floral, and I'm going to be adding them together to make the next layer on my card front. I think these two papers went together very well, and I just think it's super sweet. You could have added another color in between there to make a little sparkle if you wanted to or something, but I love how the flowers tied in together with the honey and the green tied in with the flowers. I just thought it was super sweet. I added a frame around our little honey pot, and I thought about using a little stencil to make a decoration in the back, but I think it was perfect. Now I decided I wanted to tie a little bow on this. I wanted it to be the same color, so here's a trick. Buy white yarn or thread or ribbon and color it yourself with your Copics that would match your project, and it works perfect. So I've made a tiny little bow. I've colored in the pot the same color so in case anything shows, and I'm using some stickles to do the wings of the bees and some glossy accents to make my honey pot shine. And since I used the glossy accents, I did not use a white gel pen to give it any artificial shine, because it's going to have shine. And this is card number 1. Super stinking cute. So cute. I finished it off with some hearts from Trinity stamps that I bought from Jamie's Not Too Shabby Shop years ago, I believe. So for my next card, I wanted to use that bright red paper and the hearts, and I cut them out with some stitching frames from Lawn Fawn, and here again is the paper, and I've already colored my apples to speed this up a little bit, and my bees, but we are going to be doing some paper piecing here. So I wanted to make that basket using some of the plaid paper in the pad, and the liner also, I used a piece of green paper for that. And one of our apples. Now I did this apple in red originally. I cut it out in red because I thought, and by the way, love that pattern paper, love it. Cut it out in red thinking that me just popping it up would be enough. It was not. So I did what any good artist would do. I decided to make it green, and that green popped and did the job and really should have been the focal point to begin with. If we were being honest here. But I think the red is super cute. Might stick it on the inside of the card as well. So I colored on my apples with R11, R14, and R17, leaving them a little lighter on one side. I did use a little Jelly Roll pen to make some little white highlights. And I'm adding that little green apple in there right now. Isn't he sweet? No, I'm not. The apple's not in yet. I'm putting the basket together right now. So the basket, I didn't pop up at all. I left it flat to the card. And then the little fabric piece that hangs out of the basket, I cut that out in the same green that I did the apple in. And it's just so cute. So on that one, I used some of the Trinity Stamps bubble bath beads as a trim for the end, and I think it turned out super cute too. So here's that final picture. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you guys in the next video for the Not Too Shabby Shop. All the links will be below. Have a great day. See you soon.